Yeah, so Hamilton and Thurin Streets, but these are small residential streets, so I'll give you Harbor Boulevard instead. But look at the mistake he just made.
Wow.
He's in a cul-de-sac. So here we go. He's running. So he let the car continue to roll. Here he is trying to jump that wall, but he just couldn't do it. So he may try to get back in the car or use the car as leverage to jump the wall. That's exactly what he did. Yeah, so he used the car there to get the boost that he needed, and now he's running here through this parking lot, Hamilton and Thurin. Again, there was a second person in the car, but I'm going to stick with the driver, and he's just on the other side of that big rig wearing blue jeans and a black top and a black hat. You see somebody else running there. I don't know if that woman is in any way connected to this or if she's just trying to run away from him.
Wow.
But you can see him continuing to run here through the parking lot, coming out onto Victoria.
Okay, is this a parking lot of a mall or an office building, Eliana? What can you tell us?
Yeah, it looks like a little, it looks like a shopping area. This one building that I'm looking at here looks like it's a commercial building, and he's just on the other side. I haven't seen him pop out. So there's a very good chance, since this is a business, that he's able to just walk right in that unlocked door. But fortunately, you see that the units from the Costa Mesa Police Department are arriving on scene now, and now is when things will start to slow down in terms of the officers getting into place. They will completely surround this building. The air unit knows exactly where this guy went into, and they will try to apprehend this person and whoever his passenger was as well.
Okay, so is that an officer we see there on the ground searching, or is that the suspect in question there, Eliana?
Yeah, that was in fact an officer. It looked like he was reaching for something on his leg, but this is where we last saw that individual. He was near those trees there, but you can see that the officers are actually running to the backside as well. But I basically have officers everywhere surrounding this building, just off of Newport Boulevard and Victoria Street. We're still in Costa Mesa.
All right, so Eliana, at any point in time, did we see a gun or anything in the suspect's hand during that run? Any object in his hand at all?
So we didn't see him with anything in his hand, but I did hear a mention about this red car. He may have tried to get in that car, but you can see that the officers are arriving now and they're clearing it. So he's not there anymore, but he may have gone into the parking structure potentially. We don't know that he was armed in any way. However, during the course of the pursuit, we did hear that he tossed at least one item. Unclear what that item may have been.
Okay, just for clarification here for our viewers, we see the officers here surrounding the parking structure and the building itself. Any idea, does this appear to be some sort of office building, Eliana?
It really does, Michael. It looks like some sort of like office building, commercial in nature perhaps. I do see what looks like a play place on the back.
Yeah,
so that is concerning since you see that there. So I don't know if that, I don't know what role that may play, but you can see, here we go. So if you look right next to that red tent there, look just to the left. It looks like that person matches the description of the person we saw flee from the car.
Okay, so we see someone with their arms up in the air. Some type of object there in the right hand, Eliana, if my eyes aren't deceiving me here?
They're not, Michael. He definitely has something in that hand. So we're going to be very careful about how we shoot this, but that could just be a cell phone. I'm going to ask my pilot not to go any further because we will lose him here with the building. But just on the backside of that building there, and we're just coming around to get you a better shot.
Right.
It looks like the individual is right there.
But do you see anyone outside of the area, in addition to the police officers, any spectators, any witnesses, or are people being sheltered in place?
I did see one individual next to that red car that I showed you just about a minute ago. It was a man who looked to be wearing a construction outfit. And if you look at the top of the screen, it looks like part of this building is, in fact, under construction. So it looks like it may have been one of the workers. But we're coming around here, and in a moment here, you will see the officers approaching that individual and taking him into custody.
All right, yeah, we see the officers there just to the right of that, what looks like an orange tarp here. We see the top of the parking structure, and again, one suspect at this point, Eliana, who matches the description of who police are looking for, but we believe there were two people inside of that car initially.
Correct. Initially, it was believed to be two people because the officers saw the passenger door opening. So the only way that would be possible would be for there to be a second person. And now as we've come around the building here, you can see that a team of officers has surrounded this individual who matches the individual who was seen driving that vehicle. I'm just hearing over the scanner that he does in fact match the description. So they're saying it's a code 4, which means all clear that they got their man, but they're saying that they're still looking for one more, so likely the passenger.
All right, so again, we saw the suspect here with what appears to be something in his right hand with his arms up in the air. Again, we don't know the nature, we haven't confirmed the true nature yet of the initial want on this, but again, we know that they were considered armed and dangerous at this point. So again, one suspect in custody right now, waiting on the disposition of the second person who was inside that car. But again, officers moved in here quickly, Eliana, to capture the suspect.
They did, Michael, and because they moved in so quickly, that leads me to believe that whatever was in his hand was something that was non-threatening,
right,
like a cell phone. It's difficult for us to tell, of course, from this vantage point, from this distance, but it did appear that it was perhaps just a cell phone, and you can see that he's clearly in custody now and complying with their demands. And I am hearing the description of the passenger, and it sounds very similar to the description of the woman that we saw running through the parking lot as well.
Interesting.
They're describing her as a woman with long blonde hair wearing all pink. So if my memory serves me right, that looks a lot like the woman that we saw running through the lot when we saw him running through the lot as well. So it looks like the search continues for that woman. At this point, it's unclear where she may be.